I think teams in the Big 12 probably have the best home court advantage of any of the major leagues in the country. I mean, we played in a lot of NBA arenas. There were a lot of teams that didn't have their own arena, so it wasn't on campus. I think it makes a huge difference.
Question on the front left.
Dave Barr with 1450 The Score. We hear a lot about the conference expansion and universities moving around different conferences in football. How does that affect basketball? I mean, you guys are new to the Big 12 this year. We don't talk about that much in regard to basketball.
Well, I think whoever, Chuck Ninus, I guess, in charge of expansion, I think they did a great job. They picked schools that, you know, we're a lot like the other schools in the Big 12. You know, we're the state university. We're a land-grant institution. You know, we have great facilities. I think, you know, they did a great job of getting people who are like the schools that are already in the Big 12. And you know, we're a college town, much like, you know, most of the schools in the Big 12.
Question on the outside right.
Kel Strabanet with the Wichita Eagle. Coach, you've had experience in the Big 12. How do you think that'll help now that you're transitioning into the league?
I don't know. I know where to go eat, but you know, it's changed since I was in the Big 12 when there was a North and a South division, and we played everybody in the South once and everybody in the North twice, and so there were places I didn't get to go to. Like I didn't get to go to Lubbock, and I almost wanted to stay just so I could go to Lubbock the next year. You know what I mean? But now honestly, I don't know. You know, we're all, you know, you look at the coaches in this league, and 5 of them haven't coached in the Final Four. There's great coaches in this league, but there's a wealth of experience in this league. So we all know each other. You know, we've all coached against each other. So I don't know if it's an advantage or not.
Question on the front, and we'll move to the rear.
Sean Roney, Dos Mundos bilingual newspaper. Coach, if you would, could you just talk about Gary Brown? Last season he comes off the bench, gives you quite a few minutes, and is one of your main ball distributors. Is that basically the role that you're expecting of him this season, or is it changing some?
Well, we finally have some guards. You know, we were the only team, I think, in America couldn't recruit guards. We had, I think, when I finally got 2, then Missoula got hurt, and then after he came back, Truck got hurt, so we still only had 1 guy really with ball skills. And I think we're fortunate now, and with Gary and with Jawan State and with Jabari, that we have 3 guys who actually can play the point. I think what Gary brings is a tremendous amount of intensity and enthusiasm, and he plays so hard. I think he forces everybody else to play harder because he plays so hard. And he's really worked at his game. He's shooting the ball better, handling the ball better. He's probably our best on-the-ball defender. So, you know, I don't worry about, you know, Gary Brown getting on the floor. He'll find a way to get on the floor.
Question about halfway back on the right.
Blair Kirchhoff with the Kansas City Star. Bob, every one of your conference road games is a long trip. What's the potential impact on your team of having to take so many long trips?
You know, Blair's they asked me in there who our rivalry in the conference was going to be. I said, well, it's probably Iowa State. They're the closest. They're only 853 air miles. I don't know. You know, we came out to Wichita last year and had mechanical problems in the plane and didn't get in until about 4:30 in the morning, and 4:30 Wichita time, 5:30 our time, and then played the next day and played a heck of a game, overtime game, and then we had some problems getting back, and we didn't get back until 5 o'clock in the morning, and that was a Thursday night, and we turned around and played Miami at 1:30 Saturday afternoon at home, and we're fortunate enough to win both of those games. It might help us. I might, maybe I screw them up over coaching them. I won't have, they won't have to listen to me as much. I don't know. I kind of thought maybe we'd just stay the night and come back the next day. Maybe that'd help, but they don't sleep anyway. You know, after a game, it takes them a while to go to sleep. They sleep better on the plane, I think. Have you ever noticed those guys sleep better sitting down than they do laying down? You put them in a chair, they go right to sleep. Tell them go to bed, they won't ever go.
Questions for Coach? We got a question on the front left.
One thing that hasn't changed since you were in the Big 12 is that Kansas has won the title every year. How do you explain that, and how amazing is that in this tough a conference?
Well, it's really amazing, you know, and you were talking before about home court advantages, and I don't know who has a bigger home court advantage than what KU has. We went in there and lost by about, I think it was 106. You know, my year at Kansas State, my 7'2" center fouled out, I think, in 7 minutes, and it's hard. You know, it's a hard deal. Bill does a great job. You know, he does a great job. I think the job he did a year ago, and you know, particularly being down the way they were down, and then going to triangle and two, and things that really I don't think historically he's played a whole lot of. I mean, he just finds ways to win. I think, you know, when you talk about KU winning all those, I think there's one guy really responsible, and that's Bill. He's a great coach.
Question about halfway back in the middle.
Of course, having all those players don't hurt any either. They're just in case you were wondering, that doesn't hurt at all either.
Bob, Tim Griffin with the San Antonio Express News. Obviously, your program is built a certain way, playing in the Big East. You're going to have to make some tweaks to account for the Big 12?
If we are, I'm not smart enough to do it. I don't think so. I mean, we're just going to play the way we play. You know, we've had to change and adjust things, you know, over the 5 years I was there, just because of personnel. You know, there was like a 5 or 6 game stretch I played Deshaun Butler at point guard. Didn't want to, didn't have any choice, you know. So I don't think so. I mean, we're going to just do the things that we do. We're going to try to go back. We're going to try to play a little faster. I'd actually like to see us score once in a while. You know, we've struggled with that, but we haven't played very fast. We just couldn't play very fast, and we're going to try to up the tempo and play a little faster and do maybe some more of the things that we did when I was at Cincinnati than what we've done. I didn't really like playing as slow as we had to play, but I like losing less. So, you know, you have to do what you have to do.
This will be the final question for Coach.
Kevin Haskin, Topeka Capital Journal. Bob, will it be a little unusual going back to Kansas State and not seeing anybody that was there when you had the program there? And is it disappointing, you know, not to go up against Frank in this league?
We played last year. Actually, Frank owes me a game. Either Frank or K-State, somebody still owes me a game. But that was, I don't know, you know, we went for a while and we all said we're not going to play each other. And then Andy Kennedy, you know, who's kind of like the wisest of the bunch, you know, said, why don't we play each other? At least if whoever loses is going to be happy for the other guy, you know. Where it's terrible losing to some guy you don't like, you know. You really lose somebody you kind of like. So we decided to play, and you know, I've got great memories in Manhattan and K-State. The people were absolutely fantastic. But I mean, you're right. It's a different administration. It's a different everything. But it's still the same people, you know. And they were absolutely wonderful to myself and my family and my wife. My wife still talks constantly about the people in Manhattan and the surrounding area. They're wonderful people. So I've got great appreciation and great respect for them. I think that's a really, really hard place to play. You know, when they start playing Wabash Cannonball and they start doing that, whatever that is they do, I never could figure it out. But it's really neat. It's a great atmosphere, and so it's fun. It'll be fun. Our guys will have a good time playing there.